Welcome back, community. Today we're going to be talking about ADHD and shame. This was the topic that I had planned for today, and ironically, as I was looking for the camera to record this video, I realized that my Sony FX3, my $4,000 camera that I use for these long form videos, is missing. And I just flew back here. I just got back home to Los Angeles from my parents' house in Augusta, Georgia. And obviously, you got to fly through Atlanta and then you get to LAX. So somewhere in there, I feel like I've lost. Uh, I know that I've lost my big expensive camera. Um, so yeah, I guess is the perfect time to talk about shame and ADHD. Shame is one of the that's a hell of a start to a video. Shame is one of the things that prevents you from making progress and liking yourself when it comes to ADHD. There's a lot of reasons why we have shame. Obviously, ADHD is a condition that makes it hard for you to regulate your mood and your attention. So when you struggle to regulate just your mood, we're feeling wonky one day, we're feeling happy another day. We also struggle with rejection, and shame goes hand in hand with all of these things. And a lot of the things that you experience within the ADHD experience lead to shame. And I can think back to being in grade school and hearing from teachers stuff like, "Oh, Gojo's so smart. He's so smart, but he just want to apply himself. He just wants to make jokes, and he just is looking to get the attention of the other girls," which was true, but besides the point. He's looking to, make friends with the guys and be funny. That stuff was true, but the part that really hurt was we just don't know if he'll ever get together. He's just so spaced out. He's sleeping in class. He doesn't all of that, and it leads to shame. It makes you not like yourself. It makes you not like yourself because you learn that you're not reliable. You learn that, okay, how can I believe that I can get all A's if I've never gotten all A's? Like, how can I do this? Like, I need evidence that I'm somebody who's capable of focusing in class and handling business. Shame, 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 shame. These things pick up, and over time, you realize that you don't like yourself as much. I will say nobody was born hating themselves. You don't hate yourself. Things just happen to you in this game that we call life, and over time, it makes you not like who you are. And when it comes to ADHD and shame, this is the crippling thing that prevents you from getting your life in order. I'll be talking at the ADHD International Conference in Anaheim on November 16th, and I really, like, I'm a card-carrying member of the ADHD Society. Like, I live this life, and it's not something to brag about. Some people call ADHD a superpower. I guess it could be. I like to reframe things and look at it as something that's, I have. So I'm going to use this thing to help me get to where I want to be in life. But man, this is a crippling condition that affects your self esteem, your mood. It affects how you date, your relationships. It affects the relationship with yourself. And at the core of all these things is the shame. Like I said, when I'm speaking at the ADHD International Conference in Anaheim, the title of my presentation is going to be Eliminate Shame and Implement the System. I let people know this type of stuff, but I am fighting. I'm fighting to do these things. Eliminate the shame and implement a system. The shame prevents you from putting things in order so that you can live a life that you want. It's the shame that's holding you back. And it's just ironic. I was really looking for my camera to make this video, and I'm all excited. I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this video, and I'm gonna make one more video for my Patreon subscribers. By the way, use the link in this description to follow me on Patreon. That's the best way to ask me questions, and then I'll make videos to answer your questions. So the Patreon is probably what people should do. You don't have to go straight to the live coaching. That costs more money because it's my time. But the Patreon, I want to develop a community on there where I can get to your questions as soon as possible and make videos like this. So my plan was to make one video, talk about ADHD, then another video to put on my Patreon and then to go to the Comedy Store tonight. There's a show at 10:30, so I'm gonna, drive out to Hollywood and watch a couple of comedians tell their jokes. It's something that I love doing on the weekends. And as I prepare to make these videos, I realized that I don't have my camera. There's a black bag with blue lining, light blue lining around it that I use to keep my Sony FX3. And as I was looking to make this video, I couldn't find my bag. I called my little brother back at home. I think he's sleeping right now. It's 9 o'clock in California, 12 on the East Coast. Call my dad. He's at work, so they'll let me know if I potentially left it there. But this shame, what I'm feeling right now, is exactly what I felt in grade school. Oh, he's so smart, but will he ever put it together? It's exactly what I felt when I was in grad school, not grade school, but grad school, when the girl I was dating at the time, she saw me spend 2.5 hours just getting ready to do my homework. Like I did everything but do my homework. Watching Titans highlights, Chris Johnson highlights. I'm trying to grab her butt. I'm trying to, do the dishes. I don't like doing the dishes. I'm just trying to distract myself from not doing what I have to do. And I remember her saying, "Oh, you must have ADHD." And the way she said it, like I knew I had ADHD. This is before I was diagnosed, but I knew I had ADHD. But the way she said it was like, you said that like, something is wrong with me. You said it like I'm defective. I'm not sure if I let her know in that moment, but I felt shame. Like, dang, like I'm I'm broken. That type of thing. And that shame prevents you, like I said, from implementing a system so we can live life. Like ADHD is not an excuse; it's just an explanation for the behaviors that you exhibit. So once you know that you have this condition, you just put things in place so that you can thrive and succeed. So shame. That's where I am today, and I have to. It's really hard for us as content creators, and people who watch our content, they put us in a pedestal and they're like, "Oh, that's my favorite creator. I love his content." But people forget that we struggle too. Like we go through, or at least for me, I go through the things that I talk about. That's why it feels so real. Like my acting teacher always says, you don't have to act when you believe. You don't have to act when it's your life. Like, how am I struggling to believe? Like, this is what I go through on a day-to-day basis. Not every day that I lose a $4,000 camera, but I've lost a laptop before. I've lost a guitar in Dallas. I made, I let my community know when these things happen. And somebody commented, "Oh, are you losing things on purpose, or are you trying to promote like a brand?" Like, no, this is my real deal life, and I have to process these things, and I have to do my best to not let the shame just shut me down and prevent me from doing what I wanted to do. So, yeah, shame. The shame prevents you from implementing a system. And it's a system that's going to allow you to live a life that you're proud of. So I fly all the time. I, this year I've flown the most I've ever flown. So I'm used to being on planes every week, every other week. I have a great system for flying. I have my American Airlines system set up. So I'm able to go through fast. You get the upgrades or whatever. I have my Delta system set up. So I always get upgraded without having to buy Delta Comfort or first class. I get upgraded automatically because I have all the points and the medallion, all that stuff. I have TSA pre-check. I've done my best to make traveling seamless for me. So it's not difficult for me to, you know, catch flights back home, catch flights to go see patients, catch flights to go, what are you calling me? Someone else calling me. It's not difficult for me to catch flights to back to Atlanta for my comedy show, or flying back to Alabama for something that my university did for me, then flying the next day to Chicago for a comedy show in Chicago because I have a system in place. So it's not every day that I lose things, and I've gotten a lot better, but these things still happen, and I have to figure out how to keep my mood together. I gotta, not shame myself, and the tendency when you feel shame to say bad things about yourself is high. Like the moment I realized that I potentially effed up and I lost this camera, my first thought was, I wanted to say a couple of four-letter words and maybe like punch a wall or like stomp my feet. What's that gonna do? It's not gonna bring back your camera. Hating yourself does nothing to solve the problem. It just adds on to more shame, more and more shame. We're not. It's not a productive thought or a productive statement. So, like I said, ADHD, you have to eliminate the shame and implement a system. And the way you say you can implement shame is by being kind to yourself. I say this all the time. It sounds cliche, like be kind to yourself, be kind to yourself. It sounds like something you tell kindergartners, but there's a reason why kids do better because they have adults who are helping them put the system in place. Adults who are hopefully speaking life into them and not making them feel a certain type of way. You want to uplift your kids ideally. I know everybody doesn't have parents who do that, but that's ideally what you would want from a parent. That support system. So to eliminate the shame, you have to take out those negative thoughts. Don't say bad things about yourself. Forgive yourself and just do your best to fix the situation. So what I will do is I've let my sister know. She'll make a couple of phone calls. We'll call LAX, see if I can find this camera. We'll call the Atlanta airport. Such a busy airport. We'll see if we find this camera. If we don't find this camera, and I do have some, you know, I got some family memories and stuff on the SD card, and I got some good moments that I'd like to not lose out on, but can't control that. If we don't find this camera, we're gonna do our best to keep our mood up, to not say bad things about ourselves or myself, and to work out a way to make my system better. Maybe I shouldn't be in a rush to go to the airport every time. I haven't missed a flight in a long time. My system's gotten better, but still show up to the airport a little bit earlier. Don't be in such a hurry. Slow down, Kojo. So I'm working on these things. I'm working on these things and also following through on the things that you say you're going to do helps to increase your confidence, helps to put some of that shame to the side. So, like I said, I'm going to make this video. I'm going to make one more video for my patrons, um, Patreons or patrons, however you say it, talking about, I think somebody asked about childhood trauma and being neurodivergent. So I'll make that video and then I will head to the Comedy Store tonight. I'll drive there and I will go watch comedy and I will try my best to laugh, probably in an attempt to not cry. I'll try my best to laugh and keep things together and follow through on the promises that I said I was gonna, um, you know, keep the things that I said I was gonna do and follow through. So yeah, the shame is one of the most damaging things about ADHD. But keep in mind, we can get past it. We're in this together. We're supposed to be a family. So let's get it. If you've made this far in the video, thank you for your attention. I appreciate you. You can use the link in my YouTube bio to get access to the Patreon for more information, live coaching, or whatever you like. Or if you just want to send a message to me somewhere or drop a comment here on this video, I'd appreciate it. So once again, thank you so much. Let's keep this thing moving, baby.